Seawolves, and welcome back to the show with Dalin extending his lead another 100 or so miles over the last 24 hours. I thought he deserved a song for that, so I titled it "You Can't Catch Me," with some nice Seawolves references in there. Very much fun to use AI for that. It is amazing what AI can do, including the music and everything. If you like it, you can download the song below in the comments here. And well, it is crazy if you hop in here with me. So Dalin actually extending his lead from around 190 or so miles yesterday to, what is it now, 279 miles ahead of Sebastian Simon. Right now on the tracker, he is going very slow, so he's going 7.8 knots. So I don't know exactly if there's something going on there, if he's repairing something, has some kind of problem. He has 21 or so knots behind him. Could also be the sea states. He's in waves of about 6.2 meters, so that is pretty massive. So it could be he's just going slow for safety reasons. Although I would say that, going slow but kind of full, I would more expect a speed that is like maybe 12 to 13 knots or so, but could be that there's absolutely nothing going on. It's maybe a little bit suspicious that it's so slow, but let's hope everything is good there. Sebastian Simon in similar waves, but doing 19.3 knots, but like I said, fell behind a little bit more, and of course the other sort of top threeers, Jan Richomme and Thomas Rouillant here, very close together still, also making their way at good speed, 20 and 17 point something knots. But I get ahead of myself, of course, before we get into the real analysis. I hope that you have something delicious in your possibly official Seawolf mug. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, cheers wolves. Yeah, so like I said, the front are doing pretty good. We got several updates. First of all, Conrad Coleman actually made another update, and his sail last night went overboard. Some pretty dramatic event. Take a look.
So yesterday, I made a terrible mistake. That was my big Jenica off the side of the boat, completely in the water, when the boat was doing 20 knots in wind speed of 35 knots. It was just a huge mess. This is a big sail, the second biggest that I have on board the boat, and it's the one that lives on deck normally. And I knew that last night I was going to go through a front and have to jibe. And I was concerned about my ability to move the sail around from one side to the other in really strong conditions. So I guess I made a shortcut and I left it tied up really well on the deck, but on the leeward side, so that when I jibed, it would be on the windward side. But the boat was going so fast that the waves on the deck were was so powerful that it shredded the bag and dropped the sail in the water. And so when I heard a banging noise, I went up to investigate. My heart sank. I thought that it was going to be impossible to get this back on board the boat. But I slowed the boat down, I got ropes around the sail, I started dragging it on board with winches, and then little by little managed to get all of this back on board the boat, and then safe inside. And thankfully the sail stayed furled up for the most part, and it doesn't look to be too damaged. There's a few little holes, but things that I can fix myself. And so, yeah, this is what it looks like. It's a big mess at the moment, but I'm confident that I can get it back. But that was a terrifying and frustrating moment, and I was convinced that it was going to be impossible to get it back. So that was an insane effort. Of course, I was doing this while the front came through, and so it was blowing 35 to 40 knots with driving rain. I couldn't see what I was doing. I was underwater half of the time, and yeah, it was brutal. Really kicked the stuffing out of me. But thankfully, the day has been a lot more moderate today. It's been sunny but strong in the post-frontal train, and the strong winds after the front. Recently we had 48 knots of wind, I saw recently, but the day is just beautiful. You know, the sea is completely démonté, as they say in French, completely broken, and there's swell and there's wind waves, and it's with the transition of the wind, it means that you end up with a very confused sea. So it's pretty uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable on board, and very fast even with small sails. But with the sun, I got a full charge in just with the solar panels, and so life is good again.
Yeah, so pretty tough, huh? And this is actually also a little bit indicative of you know, the fatigue and kind of the mental space very much, you know, setting in hard now as we're approaching sort of like week, you know, 4 to 5 of the race. You see that we had a few days back that, you know, Pip kind of fell asleep and her sail went loose, you know, flapping, and she had a big hole in it. You know, we saw Boris have some, you know, obvious kind of fatigue problems with just sort of his mentality and maybe making some small errors with that. Also getting a hole in his sail, although the reason there was a little bit different. Now we see with Conrad something similar going on, although he wasn't sleeping, but sort of, you know, like he explained, taking a little bit of a shortcut, just kind of trying to save some power later by preparing something in a way where you would normally maybe say, oh, I'll make a little bit effort because it's safer. And just that little shortcut, well, ended up, you know, costing him a lot more energy after. And that is something that we're going to continue seeing now. There are definitely going to be like small, hopefully, you know, small accidents like that throughout the fleet, because it just betrays the, you know, the incredible toughness of this race and the fact that especially in the Southern Ocean, yeah, there just is no respite, right? Even if there is like not so much wind for a time, you have like a window where you have 10, 20 or maybe like 15 knots or something a bit more reasonable, then the sea states, because of the heavy winds that have kind of just come over, are usually still, you know, pretty big. So you're still dealing with, you know, waves that are maybe 3 or 4 meters high in the more like lower stuff. So the boat is just bouncing a lot, crashing a lot, and it's just hard to get real qualitative rest. And over the long term, that is going to And it just means more and more small mistakes, which sometimes can be really problematic. So let's hope everything continues going well. So far, I think the whole race is, everybody should be very happy that we just had 2 dropouts so far, which statistically is still like really great. So much of the fleet doing excellent, and again, no major breakages or anything reported as of the last 24 hours. So in that sense, it's all doing very well. What else can we see? Well, so all but about 5 skippers now having passed the Cape, so that's also very good news. We just have Manuel Bisson, we have Fabrice Amadeo, Dens van Wijnberg and Zheng Xu, and of course Szabo a bit more further back. But he has made it kind of through the St. Helena High and is now cruising along nicely at 11 knots in the more windy stuff. So he sort of made it almost to the Southern Ocean, let's say. And he's going to be, no longer troubled kind of by the real low winds of the St. Helena High. So other than that, the whole back of the fleet doing very nice. And we also see here in the middle of the fleet that we're getting some more wind now. So you can see if we look at Pip's position here, if we actually go to the current wind state, that we have this pretty big dark patch with another low that's running through, almost catching up to Pip. So over the last like 4 or 5 hours, she's going to be kind of riding the inside of the lip there in a similar way that we saw Charlie Dalin doing with that massive low that came over the last few days. But it's not going to be small wind, so this is also 40 knots, probably gusting into the 50s or 55 knots or so. We see that Roman Atanasio is going to get that system right on his back, same as Benjamin Dutroux is going to get in there over the next like 15 or 16 hours or so. And we also see the group that has Boris that are, a little bit in some light stuff, sort of, right now, lighter winds. That also in about 15, 16 hours as of taping this, that's also going to be kind of reaching them, although not in any like very strong stormy way. But by the time it reaches them, they're going to be, somewhere around here, and they're going to be having a nice sort of flight with some good winds, nicely along the ice exclusion line and sort of the ideal course. So that's pretty cool on them, that they're going to be, again, more or less the whole fleet out of very light stuff and everybody just making nice speeds, which is kind of a little bit expected, but still, it's good news. And yeah, I guess we see that Charlie approaching the next major milestone with Cape Le Win, and from there, good for especially the people sort of watching the show or watching the Vendee Globe for the first time, because what is kind of the halfway point, right? Like how close are we? We keep saying we're around like 30-ish%. Sort of the winners are around like 37%, 30, 36, something there. The halfway point is actually considered to be, it depends a bit on how you see it, but it's considered to be around New Zealand. So if you look at the map, it's sort of somewhere, sort of here. It depends a little bit on, the route that they take, if they go more sort of past South America, because it all depends on the, total length of the race, so it can easily move, you know, 1,000 or more miles in one direction or another. But this zone, sort of past Australia, past Tasmania, towards sort of around New Zealand, that is what we consider kind of the halfway point. So at least, you know, if we look on the map, it's sort of in visual range now, especially the front runners, Charlie, and sort of up to Jeremy Bijou maybe. They are sort of getting close to the point where, you know, also mentally, I think that's going to get more and more closer to where that's going to be occupying. So it's Cape Lewin for now, mentally, psychologically, but after that, Tasmania and kind of the halfway point are going to be very much the mental next focus for the skippers. And yeah, other than that, no major crazy news today.
Alors là, je crois que c'est la première fois que je vois un arc-en-ciel aussi lumineux et parfait. Trop beau, regardez. Incroyable. Magnifique.
Lewis Burton made it to Cape Town, so he's safely in the marina there, no doubt affecting repair so that they can return the boat to France as soon as possible. And other than that, yeah, everybody just sailing fast, keeping an eye on the tracker, and you know, nothing else major. Maybe that's a good sign to report. So again, hope you enjoyed. Have a nice evening or middle of the day, or perhaps morning, depending on where you are, and see you all again in 24 hours. Ciao, ciao!